The Ash, Luttsy and Susie Snackbox.
Oh, good morning.
Here we are.
Good morning.
Good morning. Like Ash's photo said, Ash's photo said, we're from enemy territory. That picture you put up on your Instagram.
What about that? I took that photo.
That is beautiful. We were flying over Sydney Harbour. That photo you've got is frame-worthy.
Yeah.
We didn't get that view from business class. Nah, I'm kidding.
That's the beauty of
That was magnificent view, though.
I normally always take an aisle seat, and I said yesterday on the
Yeah.
potty, I said, no, I've taken a window seat because
Yes.
it's the way to go for a short flight. What?
Just you cracking me up the way you're using your microphone.
Look how you use your microphone, mate. That's not how you use that. We've got new microphones
We're in
because we're in
Sydney, yeah.
Sydney.
It's very flash.
And he's sucking on it like a lollipop. You're supposed to
What are you
suck
meant
on
to
it
do?
like it's a like you know,
what?
Like some of those bars of
like
soaps
you're,
in
like you're
Susie's
licking a bar
old,
of soap. Yeah,
the 70s.
yeah.
Hey, we tried the new Qantas, what's the word, where you go in with numbers.
Yeah.
Numbers as well. That was fun too.
Well, it's fun for you guys.
We were a 2. He was a 6. Ash was a 6.
I went behind Ash. I was 4, so I don't know if the number system works as good as we thought it was going
What
to.
were you, Mitch?
I think I was a 5, but I rolled up. I walked in behind Buzz.
Hello.
Interesting. Susan
What were
and I
you,
were-
Alicia? 5. Oh, right, so I was bottom of the barrel. It only goes to 6.
Yeah. Susan and I were 2s,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which is pretty much as high as you can get.
That was pretty
No,
good.
one's
one
as
is.
high as you can get.
It's children
That was
and
1 and 2 together.
war veterans
Yeah.
and stuff in one.
But Ash was funny because he was the window seat right at the front. So everyone had to get up and, like, he caused a ruckus with number 6 entry.
I was in seat 6A.
I felt like you came in too early. I don't know whether you actually
Well, they
waited
didn't
till
stop him.
6.
Well, the way they did it was they only
You felt like
segregated
I barely-
it for 1 and 2.
I
And then
barely settled and you were in there. And I wasn't comfortable with it.
3, 4, and 5 and 6 all came in together.
What's this
Yeah.
idiot doing coming in?
Yeah, he's not meant to come in yet. We haven't even seen the first of the 5s.
And he wonders why he's a 6. We get off the plane and, of course, he leaves stuff on there. Another
bring that up.
nightmare.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring that up.
We are in Sydney for
All
Origin.
right, is there anything else I'm doing wrong, guys?
Yeah,
Well, the microphone,
Yeah,
you still haven't
mentioned
fixed
that.
it.
We've canvassed that.
Lift it.
Let's play a couple of songs and come back. We'll fix your microphone issue. Origin Day, we'll chat to Darren Lockyer on the show before 9
I'm not
o'clock
saying
this
anything
morning.
today. I'm taking it off there. I'm having a quiet one. No, I'm done. I'm not speaking.
Classic 6.
The Ash, Luttsy and Susie Snackbox.
I teased this yesterday and you guys seem mildly interested, so I'm going to do it now. I was talking about how the words you use make you smarter. And I have some trouble with words sometimes, trying to use really cool adjectives.
We all do. Oh, this is the 11 adjectives
Yeah.
thing. We
You were particularly interested in this,
yeah,
Luttsy.
I'm all about this.
11 adjectives everyone should use more often. I'm just going to go through them quickly. Tell me if you use them. Ravishing.
Oh, always.
Yeah. That's
Ravishing.
Had a ravishing meal last night.
Ravishing.
I don't think I've used the word ravishing
think
in
I have
quite
either.
some time.
No.
You'd say you copped a ravishing.
Pardon?
That's how Ash should use it.
No, he'd say Jodie looks ravishing.
Yeah, well, I
He
would
He
if.
got the ravishing off Jodie.
Yeah.
That's how he'd use it.
Yes.
Blythe. Blythe.
That's
Blythe.
my cousin.
Happy or joyous. Showing a casual and cheerful indifference.
So what Blythe means?
That's what it says.
Because that's, Maddie from the Met, that's his last name.
Oh, Blythe. And it's spelled
Or
differently.
the lawn bowl player.
Yeah, that's another story. We'll come back to that.
This one's I've never heard of. Indubitable.
Indomitable?
Yeah. Indubitable.
No, indubitable.
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 No, it's indubitable.
Oh.
Indubitable.
What does it mean?
Unquestionable. Undubitable is undoubtedly one of the most fun adjectives to say in the English language. And that is an undubitable fact.
You're undoubtedly getting a ravishing time.
You don't want to be using words, though, Suze, do you, that you're just using them to show off? Like,
Yeah.
this is, like, bordering on, I don't mind.
Yeah.
Like,
Journos.
ravishing, I think we all get. What I remember when I started off at 4BC, there was a guy, Ben Dobson,
Yeah.
and he said to me, he goes, one day, and I didn't know if he's having a go or if he's been
Which
complimentary.
you tended to have a go at times.
Yes,
by the way, so you
but
never
he
did.
said,
Yeah.
Ash, you're very perspicacious, and I went, thank you.
But you had no idea.
What does it mean?
It means, because I looked it up, I had no idea. It means perceptive.
Oh, okay.
So I guess he was,
There's that famous interview, wasn't it, with Pauline Hanson, and she got asked a question and she didn't know the word. Oh, she knew the word now.
But I like-
That's when she said, please explain.
Yeah, that's
Remember
what
that?
explain. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I like when people do that. You see it in interviews sometimes. Rugby league players get it a little bit. I think I don't know what that means, but is that good? But
Yeah.
because I find that in newspapers, a lot of journalists sometimes they use words like, "Well, 90% of people reading this paper don't know." what you're
Don't know.
talking about.
That's what I'm
Get
saying.
off your high
Yeah.
horse.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You're saying it just to try to be impressive.
yes.
It's not impressive. Enterprising, showing initiative.
Yep.
People use that.
Yep.
Oh, this might be the one you were saying before, Ash. Inimitable.
Well, inimitable.
Yeah, not capable of being imitated.
Yes.
Sorry, not capable of being imitated.
Inimitable.
Inimitable.
Show me.
Well,
Inimitable.
there needs to be a replacement word
Inimitable.
for literally. Literally seems to get a big
Yes.
flogging,
Too
and
much.
there's a lot of that.
Literally.
Literally,
I'm literally, and it's always I'm literally
literally.
dying right now.
Yeah.
Well, no,
And
you're not.
absolutely gets could be
yeah.
replaced. It could be benched for a little while.
I got on the inevitably bandwagon for a while there.
Inevitably.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do tend to use a lot of words. I used the same word a lot, which is weird. And my friend told me
That's
I
weird.
tried to stop using it. That was weird, wasn't it? Ineffable. Ineffable?
Ineffable.
of
That's
being
Luttsy at
expressed in
school this
words.
week.
The Ash, Luttsy and Susie Snackbox.
Not sure if it was helpful for the Maroons or not yesterday, but I was sharing this story with Pat very briefly, Pat Carrigan, of course, about game day preparations and my epic fails in my career,
Yep.
Sporting career or radio career?
sporting career.
Oh, right. Okay.
No, sporting
What?
career, Suze. That's right.
What?
Luttsy was sharing his sporting career
the-
stories
on
with
the
Pat
eve of Origin
Carrigan
at the
the day
Olympic-
before
At the
Origin.
Olympic
Yeah.
Stadium.
I didn't want to be rude about it, but
There was an ill-fated the sausagen episode, I call it, when we were kids. And I-
sausagen.
It was at Nudgee College GPS cross country, and I'd finished 10th the year before. I think you finished 10th at GPS cross country too, didn't you, Ash?
Yep.
We have a very strange athletic career, very similarities, and so it was.
That's a fair effort, by the way.
Sounds it.
That's pretty good in GPS. Hey, 10th. I think you said.
Susie sitting next to us. It was a pretty good effort finishing top 10 at GPS cross country. Anyone who's been anywhere near that rare air will know the amount of effort that is required
Yeah.
to reach that.
Yeah, you tell him.
Yeah, and then the next year, and it was out at Limestone. I think it was at Brassel, out Ipswich way. The next year I was back on my home turf at Nudgee College, and Mum, the morning of, Mum said, "Here, what you need is sausagen, a big 2 litres of sausagen and milk."
Oh, the morning of your race.
Oh.
Come on,
The morning
Mrs.
of
Luttrell.
the race. Ridiculous.
Oh,
And this is, and I think that was widely sort of sausagen and milk was at one point in the 70s and 80s. God, this is what you have before you compete. And I didn't compete that day. I finished 52nd, Ashley.
the stump.
GPS,
Mate, do you-
cramps, lethargy, lactic acid build-up. It was
That's
a
what
night.
milk is,
it was,
lactic acid.
it was a 6-kilometre nightmare, Ashley.
Mucky was telling me at Functionwell just earlier this week.
Mm.
He was the strength and conditioning coach of the Queensland under 18 team, like back when Tino was in it, Jermaine Hopgood was in it. There was all these guns that, and Susie, he reckons on the day of the game, he's walked into the lunch. And all the players having the lunch. They're like 18. They're smashing it. It's free food at Sanctuary Cove. They're at Sanctuary Cove. And he's looking. He goes, "They're eating pork chops and mashed potato. Like that's not what the menu is for today." And he goes to the cooks. He goes, "What are you doing? They're all smashing pork chops. There's bread rolls. There's this, that, and everything else." And the guys looked at the sheet and go, "Oh, geez, this was yesterday's food. We're giving to them again. They haven't got the proper food for the day of the game." He reckons, Muggy reckons they've all hopped on the bus to go from Sanctuary Cove to Suncorp Stadium. Every one of them.
Food coma.
dead asleep. And then he reckons the game started. New South Wales kicked off. The Queensland fullback has dropped the ball, and New South Wales scored from the scrum. That was the way the game started.
The Ash, Luttsy and Susie Snackbox.
after the captain's run yesterday, like you said, we got to speak to all the Queensland players. Most of them were bang up for a chat, but the one I really wanted to talk to was Jermaine Hopgood because he's making his debut. He's a Harvey Bay boy.
We spoke to his mum yesterday.
Had Anita,
Yep.
his mum,
She was nice, wasn't she?
on the show. Oh, she's lovely.
Yeah.
You know, and then yesterday we revisited the story about how Anita and I went out in grade 5, and you know, but I wasn't sure when I met Jermaine because the last time I saw Jermaine, he was just a young boy. You know,
Okay, like a kid.
yeah, like a kid. Like I got memories of.
Oh, you do? When he was a kid?
Oh well, me and Jono back in the day, Anita's brother, we used to play footy, and the last time I saw Jermaine I was on the drink with Jono at Jono's house dancing, and I remember there were all my boys were there, and there were all these little green frogs around, and you know, and
Lollies.
no, like proper frogs, like out in the bush at Harvey Bay.
Oh, right. Okay.
So yeah, it was just like Jermaine was one of those kids with all the frogs that just happened to be around Jono's house that night, and anyway, so got to chat to Jermaine, and having a chat to Jermaine, I got Sid there, my boy, and I said, oh, you know, we had Anita on today, and blah blah blah. Congratulations, mate! I'm super proud of you, and all of that type of thing, and then Paddy Carrigan came over, and when Paddy came over, Jermaine he's kind of looked at me, looked at Sid, and then he's whispered something into Paddy Carrigan's ear. But I didn't know what it was. But we were like, "What? You know, what's going on?" You know, because you could tell something something had just
The
happened.
mood had swung a little.
Yeah.
Were you there, Luttsy, as well?
No, I could see it, but I couldn't.
Yeah.
Not really. No.
And Paddy, because I don't know that Jermaine knew that Paddy knew me, and Paddy just said. This was my mum's first boyfriend.
So did Jermaine know who you were when he came up to you?
Yeah, I think he did.
Yeah.
because
He definitely did. I saw
yeah,
that.
he did.
He sort of went towards you and went, "Hey, mate."
So he's obviously heard the stories
Yeah.
too. That you know.
Do you reckon his mum said, "My first boyfriend's going to be there at the captain's run"?
Yeah, totally.
Because you told
No, I don't.
Anita that.
Yeah, maybe I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know. But then I told Jermaine that story I told yesterday about mate. This is how I asked her out, like and about writing the note and sending it up, and we were
Yeah.
just sort of having a good laugh about that. But it was also Sid's first time of hearing it too.
Oh, yeah.
So technically, okay, no, we're going to that side of it, but yeah.
Yeah.
Sid, it could be Sid's brother.
Yeah, that's what Luttsy was saying. Huh?
Oh, yeah.
That could be your brother.
Sid would love that.
Yeah.
Did you kind of feel attached to the team? Like he was your... Not that he's your son, but, you know, it's like the closest you're going to get to having someone in the team.
Yeah, well, I'm just
going
saying.
out with his mum.
And the other cool thing that they've got that on the Queenslanders all training, they've got their own training jerseys with
Jeez, I
their
love
with
those
their names
jerseys.
on them, and their number, whatever number you are. Origin player, you might be Origin player 221 or whatever.
Oh, that's what that was.
But
Yeah.
Oh, right.
but on their sleeve of their training jersey, they've got their club emblem, like their junior club emblem. You know how
Such
they.
good
Oh,
jersey.
I didn't see that.
And then on their Origin jerseys tonight, they'll actually have their postcode of wherever they grew up. So for Jermaine, it'll be obviously Harvey Bay, but just to see on his sleeve the Harvey Bay seagull.
Yeah.
I took a picture of it and went, oh my God. Like as I said yesterday, you cannot imagine what that means to the community up there in Harvey Bay, and particularly a big, strong Indigenous community up in Harvey Bay. And all of a sudden, they got a kid now who's a true role model, and he's truly from the area. And it's just so great.
And the other thing was, you mentioned the numbers. They were the numbers on. He didn't have a number on yet.
Yeah.
Because obviously you don't earn that number.
Oh, didn't he?
No, he didn't. He didn't have
wow.
number 228 or whatever it would be now. He
He hasn't done it yet. He hasn't done it yet.
Because he doesn't earn that right until he steps out onto the pitch.
That's so cool.
Tonight.
So cool.
Which is also I thought was pretty cool as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. Good luck, son.
The Ash, Luttsy and Susie Snackbox.
Darren Lockie is joining us on the...
Oh. Sorry, Lockie.
Right now, he's here.
I figured a man of your stature,
here
Lockie,
now.
would have a big song or something.
Yeah.
Normally in FM radio, they hit to a song or there'd be some type of bells and
We
whistles.
would have at one point
Yeah.
had a song for him. but-
I can only really sing Joe Cocker songs. So.
Go on.
Oh yeah.
How are we, team?
Good mate. How are you going?
Yeah, good. I'm still in Brisbane. I'm heading down at lunch.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're down here yet. So you're not. We just did. If you check my Instagram or the Ash Luttsy and Susie O'Neill Instagram, Ash just did a weather forecast out on the balcony here for what he sees as the future for Sydney. It looks a bit grey though, Lockie. I don't know. It looked a bit slippery last night too. We went to the captain's run. It looked that usual murky darkness that the Olympic Stadium gives you out there.
Yeah, well, if rain or not, that stadium in winter is always a bit greasy, so the conditions will be slippery.
Yeah. Okay, so how's that impact? I mean, obviously, Billy would be aware of that. I did notice, actually, last night, the captain's run again, the coach, Billy Slater, was wearing footy boots. He went out there when the players were warming up. He grabbed a footy. He put a couple of kicks. He could see he was going to get a feel for what the ground was like as well. So I guess that's a good thing. He'll have that under control.
Well, some players don't sort of do their due diligence on what shoes they should wear. Like, I think Billy always wore long studs no matter where he played. Now, not every player does that, but it's pretty crucial you get the right footwear, because if if the ball gets turned under and you just can't change direction quick enough because you slip, it might be the difference between winning and losing. So I think Billy, as we know, has got attention to detail. He'd be making sure all his players are comfortable and confident in the footwear they're wearing tonight.
Just to stay on Billy for a second, because it's in the papers today, and it is one of the really interesting things in terms of our selection. And, I'm sure most Queenslanders are like me, full confidence in Billy. I love that statement that he said about no one's watched more football of Queensland players than me this year, the confidence that he said it with. He's obviously got a plan for Selwyn Cobbo. He's there if there's obviously going to be an issue for one of our outside backs, as there has been in, I understand, 5 of our last 6 Origin games. But outside of that, if there's no injury, how do you think that Selwyn will be utilised tonight?
I think they'd get him around the footy, so get him involved. I don't think he'll defend in the middle, though. I think that's just, going from wing to centre and then defending in the middle for an Origin game. That'd take a lot of energy out of him, and he'd blunt his attacking threat. So I think that they'll find a role for him, in the middle of the field, like a roving fullback. But defensively, I think there'll have to be a shuffle. Where he goes, I don't exactly know. But he'll be comfortable out wide. But the closer he gets to the middle, I think he'll struggle.
Looks like the betting's pretty close. Darren, do you think it'll be a close game, high-scoring game, low-scoring game? How do you see it playing out tonight?
Yeah, I think it'll be low-scoring, Suze. I just feel like they've picked a team that's based on work ethic and character, and so defensively they'll just keep turning up. So I don't think we'll have a lot of opportunities tonight. And equally, I think for us that's always been our DNA, is just hanging in for each other defensively. So I think it's it'll be a real arm wrestle for 80 minutes, and there might be only 1 or 2 opportunities that both teams get from an attacking perspective, and they need to ice those moments. And guys like Reece Walsh might be the key to that. Same for the Blues, it might be Tedesco.
Yeah, we mentioned earlier in the show too, Daly Cherry Evans. We had a good chat with him last night. He came over and had a chat to us all after the captain's run, saying that the week's been great. The team looks great. There's a really good sense of Maroon, I guess, and being part of that the great squad that being part of the Queensland Maroons is, but it means nothing unless they can get across the line tonight. I mean, from your experience, are those great camps related to great results, or is it a bit of a hit and miss as to how you feel during the week and the actual outcome on the Wednesday night?
I always think that the result of the previous game has a big impact on this game. Like, I know that's 12 months ago, but Queensland won the last 2 series. The Blues have been criticised a fair bit. Freddie was moved on, and then there's a new coach, new direction. So I think they've got a lot to prove, the Blues, whereas Queensland, they need to know that they're going to be facing a desperate team. So, from the perspective of getting a good preparation and converting that onto the field, it helps, but, there's a lot more to play for than, just knowing you've got a good preparation. So it's an intriguing battle. I think the biggest advantage we've got at the moment is probably that man you talked about with Daly. over Nico Hines, who's really playing his first Origin game at halfback. He only really got, 15, 20 minutes in the series last year. So it's a big step up for him.
Well, just to talk quickly about first Origin games, Jermaine Hopgood, he's making his debut tonight. It's a huge moment for everyone up in Hervey Bay. We had his mum on the show yesterday. You played 36 Origin games. Let's go back to your first one. What are your memories of the first time that you represented Queensland, and what advice would you give to Jermaine tonight?
Oh, look, it's, I guess it's what, as a kid, it's all you dreamt about, playing for Queensland. And, I grew up in that era watching Wally and Elf. And, so to get the jersey, and then it's your time, your opportunity. You realise the dream, but then you've got a responsibility. And he's a good kid. He's got a great work ethic. So I'm pretty confident he's going to go out there and do the best for himself, his family, and his state. So it's exciting times for him. But I think just be yourself, Jermaine, and every second counts out there and make the most of it. Well, my first Origin game was in '98, and we had Alf was the captain, so our first couple of nights in camp was pretty fun. But that was the game that Tony Carroll scored in the last minute after Kevy kicked it. We regathered. Tony Carroll scored, and I had to convert. It was only sort of 5-10 metres to the right of the upright, and in those days I was kicking off sand. So my debut was memorable, but it could have easily been a horror show if I had missed that kick. So that was a good moment.
I was chatting to Alfie last night, Darren, and I was asking him to compare the camps to previous, when he was a backup player, because he's now the social rep, whatever you call him on one of his roles is.
People and culture, Suze, is his official title.
And it sounds like it's a lot more controlled. He said there's only one night out, one big night, and it's in-house. They don't, but he said they love it. They love the tradition of the one, good bonding night.
They keep that too.
Yeah, which is fun. So it's good he's still involved with the team, I reckon.
Oh, look, I think, you've been involved in elite sport. You still got to have your moments of getting away from the intensity and the focus. You've got to break away and have a bit of fun. And, Elf's obviously been very good at that. But, Elf was the ultimate competitor on game day too. So, back in the mid-90s, the first 2 or 3 days, I think you go back to the 80s and it was pretty much the whole camp. So it's slowly becoming a thing of the past. But you're still having a beer with your mates and just having a chat for a few hours and having a bit of fun, it's good for team morale.
And for those that aren't at the game, we're watching at home on 9 and 9 now. You'll find the flag for us as usual, the Queensland flag, in that commentary, because that can drive people mad in their lounge rooms when they get control.
Don't take any of their shit.
It's just as important, Lockie, as what happens on the field.
Yeah, well, there's exactly, mate. Well, Cam and Joey up in the box. I'm going to be sitting next to Freddie on the sideline, so
Nice.
and Gal won't be far away. So let's just hope there's a few
do what you do.
a few long faces in New South Wales after the game.
All right, well, get down here safely, mate. We might even see you out there tonight. If not, you catch Lockie and all the crew on Channel 9. Go Queensland. Thanks, mate.
Good on you, mate.
Thanks, guys. Enjoy the night.
The Luttsy and Susie Snackbox.